Hello once again, and welcome to another episode of Inside IUE Sports. I'm your host, Caleb Gillock, and on today's episode, we're going to start off by talking about women's basketball, and joining me to do so is head coach Tiffany Selhorst. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Caleb.
Well, obviously a great season for you last year, and you picked up several new players for this year. Let's go ahead and talk about a little bit about each player on the roster, starting with the new players. We'll start with freshman Libby Springmeyer from Eaton High School.
Okay. Libby, I like to say she's about 5'9" with a 6'2" wingspan. She's a point guard for us, or can play a little bit of 1-2 guard. And with that long wingspan, we can use her a lot in a lot of different areas on defense. So we're excited about that. She can also hit some big shots for us. She's not afraid to step up and communicate and be vocal, and that's what we need out of that position.
All right. How about another freshman, Adriana Moore from Preble Shawnee?
Adriana is one of the hardest working kids we got on this team. I just love her hustle all the time, you know, especially on the defensive end. Anybody that knows anything about us from last year knows that defense is something that we needed to get better at. So I tried to go out and find some kids that wanted to do that, and Adriana was one of those main players that we went to get to help us on the defensive end.
And what made her interesting to you, watching her in high school?
When I saw her in high school, I mean, the high school team that she was on was good, but Adriana pretty much had to play 1 through 5. So offensively, I knew she had the skill set all the way from 1 through 5. But defensively, what really attracted us to her was just the hustle. She was diving on the floor for loose balls. She was leaving her man probably even when she didn't need to help out other people. She was definitely the heart and soul of that high school team, and I felt like that could help us.
All right. One other newcomer, that's Sarah Cook, a freshman from Rushville.
Yep. I mean, you know, Rushville, we've got a nice little pipeline coming from there. I respect Coach Marlowe a lot. One thing that I really like about Sarah Cook is her versatility. This year she's playing a 4-5 for us, but she can also step out. She's going to be hard to guard. I mean, if you put a big girl on her, she's going to be able to take you on the wing, and if you put a small girl on her, we can put her on the block. And you know, if you can't tell, I have a few players that we feel that way about. So we're excited about her too.
All right, well, let's talk about your returnees, starting off with Kristen Miller.
Okay, Kristen, I mean, if it's even possible, I think she got a little quicker. So it's good. She's gotten quicker and stronger. She stepped up more as a vocal leader, leading us defensively. She has put her energy into becoming our defensive stopper. So that's what we need, and we believe that she can do that. All
right, how about Bailey Dryman?
Bailey is our utility player. She does it all. I think that she's that one kid that everybody tries to outwork, but you just can't do it. Right. She does it on the floor, on the court, in the classroom, in the weight room. Every day that kid is outworking everybody, and she's also a vocal leader. She's a captain of our team. You know, this is a good thing to say. I say it all the time that player-led teams go further than coach-led teams. She's definitely gained a lot of respect from her players, and she probably has more of a voice than I do, and that's what we need to be successful.
Now, how is she able to outwork some of the other people?
I mean, she just doesn't stop. I mean, there's no 1, 2, 3 gear. I mean, it's from 1 to 3 every single play. It doesn't matter if it's offense or defense. She's doing all the small things. We can't take her off the floor because she does everything. And her stat line, she may not have a ton of points, but she's going to give you 10 rebounds, 10 steals, 10 assists, and maybe have 2 points. And, you know, that's huge for us as well.
All right. How about Mackenzie Bowles?
Mackenzie Bowles is long. We can use her at the top of a press. We would like to put some zones in. She'll be able to be in a top of a zone or a bottom of a zone, help with some trapping. You know, the thing I like about Mackenzie, and I've liked it since I recruited her in high school, is that you know, when times get tough, she tends to stand up and get tougher. So she's worked really hard on her shot and creating more offense for us, and I think she's going to be able to be more of a weapon on the offensive end and not just the defensive end this year.
Okay. How about Daisha Boyd?
Deja, you know, that's a kid that I've told her we're a little light in the post this year, and asked her if her 5'6" self would love to be in the post area for us, because she's so strong, and she creates for herself down there on the block. So she probably had one of the highest percentages shot because of her field goal percentage last year, because she just took smart shots. So she'll be able to help us there.
All right. How about Tia King?
What do you say about Tia? She can do it all, and we need her. She has really stepped up this year to hold her teammates accountable too. She's another kid just like Bailey. She doesn't quit on the offense or defensive end. I mean, this kid can really make a splash nationally, so we as coaches want to help her try to get there. But the thing I like about her is she keeps the focus on the team. It's not just about her, and that's what makes us strong.
All right. How about Mackenzie Campbell?
Mackenzie Campbell is going to be very helpful for us this year on the bench. I've put her in charge of the out-of-bounds plays, because I think that's a way that we can add some extra points, or easy points for us. So she has taken a liking to do that. You already know that she's out for the season with a torn ACL. She still comes in an hour before practice and works out on her own, gets shots up, jogs a little bit. She hasn't quit. So I love her heart. I think she's going to be a huge asset on the sideline. And then, you know, next year, hopefully we don't even skip a beat.
And what does it mean to you as a coach when you have a player like that that's willing to put in the extra work when they can't play?
It's huge. I mean, she wants to be a coach someday. So I'm trying to open that door for her, take her under our wing, the coaches' staff's wing, take her under that, teach her that side of it, as well as really challenge her when she's sitting off on the sideline to see the game in a different way. That's how I knew I wanted to be a coach. I tore my ACL when I was a junior and had to learn the game from a different angle. That's what I'm challenging her to do, and she's stepping up.
All right. How about her former Rushville teammate, Kerrigan Niehoff?
Kerrigan is our only true post this year, so she's got some big shoes to really fill. We just got to keep her out of foul trouble, but again, she works hard. She's diving on the floor. She's setting great screens. She's doing the little things. We're continuing to work with her to make her a stronger post on the offensive end. But yeah, she's got to look for some playing time this year, because she's going to get it.
All right. How about Caitlin Dobbins?
Caitlin has also really stepped up this year, not only just playing, but just the commitment. Last year, I think she knows that her role was more on the bench and just cheering her teammates on and everything, and she doesn't want that to be her only role this year, so she has really stepped up. She works hard every day in practice. She's hitting big shots for us in practice. I think that she can make a big splash for us in this season.
All right, and how about Brooke Packer?
Brooke is just another one of our kids that is super athletic. When she wants to step up and play some defense, she's one of our other kids that can get long, get big, make some defensive stops. Offensively, she's hard to stop. She knows how to get to the basket and score. She's also coming up with some big rebounds in practice and pushing the ball, so I think she's really getting into that just that run and gun that we want to do. So, you know, sky's the limit for her too.
Right. Well, you also have a new assistant coach this year, and that's Doris Moore. Tell us a little bit about her.
Doris comes from Ohio State. She's had 1 year of coaching at Martin Methodist last season. I recruited her when I was at St. Francis, so I know her pretty well. She didn't know me as well, because obviously she had her sights set on Ohio State and made a big splash there. So she already has stepped up to the challenge. She's really focusing in and wants those kids that want to be post better. But, you know, she's not limited to just the post position. She's helping us all over the place and helping us reach the expectations of the highest level, which is what we need to do to be successful.
All right, well, let's look at the schedule a little bit. What do you expect the biggest game in November to be?
In November, man, we got so many good ones. I have to say we've got the University of St. Francis out of Fort Wayne. That will be a good one for us because they are year in, year out one of the top in the Crossroads. Right. But I also am looking forward to Marian University. We played them really strong last year for a half, but we couldn't put it all together. This year I think we're going to come back a little bit different. We're going to play more to our strengths and not just give up and roll over on them this year. Right. But they are one of the toughest teams we've got on our schedule throughout the whole season. So right. It'll show us who we really are.
Right. And how about in December?
December, we start some conference play there, so we need to start off strong. We start with Carlo, and we actually play them twice. We need to get Spring Arbor back. I think the kids still got kind of a rough taste in their mouth from last year's Spring Arbor game. We're in the Taylor Classic. I know the kids are ready for Taylor. They've been talking about Taylor since the last December when we played them. We felt like we could play a little bit better than we did, so we want to show them who we really can be. So I would say all of them, Caleb. Every game is important.
All right. Well, you had a really good run in the conference tournament last year as well, and ended up falling short to Asbury by 3 points in the conference tournament championship. What do you expect the conference to be like this year?
The conference is definitely getting better, which is a good thing for all of us. You know, it's one of those things where you want our best teams to be able to go to nationals and represent the conference. I definitely think that we can be one of those teams that everybody's talking about. But Asbury comes back stronger. Rio's got a few kids that they got transferred in, and new freshmen coming in to add to their already big roster. Southeast has got some good kids coming in. Point Park is always strong. Pittsburgh is a hotbed for girls basketball, so he ended up getting a lot of good kids. You know, it's just from top to bottom, we're going to be stronger than it was last year.
All right. Well, thanks for your time today, Coach.
No problem.
There you have it, the women's basketball preview with Coach Tiffany Selhorst. We'll be right back with more Inside IUE Sports.
This is where a busy mom can work toward a bachelor's degree from a top national university during softball practice. It's where a service member can continue his college studies from anywhere in the world, and where you'll benefit from one of the country's most effectively delivered online programs.
Woohoo!
So, if you've ever wondered if a college education is really worth it, this is where you'll see that it is. This is Indiana University East Online.